We played the Drew Brees sound from his latest Instagram post that came yesterday afternoon with more apologies from Brees.
Here's the other thing is that everybody is kind of like trying to put their own spin on how this all went down and saying like, oh, well, Drew Brees, he was forced to apologize and he was forced to do this or that. I mean, no, you're ignoring what's going on in front of your face. Like it's that simple. Brees has told you that is not the case. He has told you he was wrong. So if you're still sitting there saying, and he was right and he was forcing this or that, no, you're not listening. You're just putting your own spin on events.
Okay, so we have the video here. Mike Thomas tweeted out the first message on a message on behalf of the NFL that has LSU players littered throughout the message. Tyrann Mathieu is the first one. You see Jarvis Landry, Jamal Adams, Patrick Peterson, Odell Beckham are some of the guys from LSU.
You also have Mike Thomas and Marshawn Lattimore. So you're looking at a couple Saints players as well. So what this was these guys calling for the NFL to recognize that Black Lives Matter, calling for the NFL to recognize systemic oppression, calling for the NFL to recognize that they are going to protest. And why this is so impactful to me is that look at that grouping we just named, right? These are the premier NFL players. The NFL cannot run from this.
Yep, here you go.
We need to ask you to listen to your players.
What will it take
for one of us to be murdered by police brutality?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd.
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd.
If I was George Floyd. If I was George Floyd.
I am George Floyd.
I am Breonna Taylor.
I am Ahmaud Arbery. I am Eric Garner.
I am McCormick Dunn.
I am Tamir Rice.
I am Trayvon Martin.
I am Walter Scott.
I am Michael Brown Jr.
I am Samuel Du Bois.
I am Frank Smart. I'm Philip White. I am Jordan Baker.
We will not be silenced.
We assert our right
to peacefully protest.
It shouldn't take this long to admit.
So, on behalf of the National Football League,
this is what we, the players,
would like to hear you state.
We, the National Football League,
condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people.
We, the National Football League,
admit wrong and silencing our players from peacefully protesting.
We, the National Football League,
believe Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
So again, so why? I mean, and that is an unprecedented shot. I cannot remember such a group of talent, not NFL talent, getting together for like a social justice issue like that, right? And look, the NFL, like I said, they can't run from this. These are their premier players. Look at that grouping: Mike Thomas, NFL record holder; Tyrann Mathieu, member of an NFL All-Decade team; Stephon Gilmore, NFL Defensive Player of the Year. And then the big one, Pat Mahomes, the face of the NFL. What is Pat Mahomes, 24, 25 years old? Already been a league MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Nobody better in the NFL right now. Kids run around everywhere all throughout the country with his jersey on. I mean, and everybody else in the list, I mean, that's just everybody else is Pro Bowlers, all pro players. And so, yeah, the NFL can't hide from this. They got away with blackballing Kaepernick because of the argument. They argued that he wasn't good enough, right? And although that is absurd when you look at the quarterbacks that have made rosters in the NFL over the last few years, you could sell that BS to a lot of people. You can't sell these guys not playing. Like you can't sell that they're not good enough. That argument's untenable here. And so they're going to have to directly address what they've been trying to avoid for years because, Jordan, I mean, players are going to kneel. It is a guarantee, and it's going to be the premier players in the NFL. And so as a viewer, you're going to have to get used to it. And my hope is that this time, when players do, instead of ignoring it and putting your own spin on it and what it means to you, you ask what it means to them. Why are they doing it? And then we come together to start to address, as we said, some of the injustices in the country. Because if you don't, if you allow it to fester, then it explodes. And it will continue to do so until the core problems are addressed. I mean, if you can sit here and have listened to black community members, whether they're your friends, whether they're famous athletes, whether they're me, like whoever, if you can sit here and listen to their personal anecdotes and their personal experiences, and you can still think that there's not a problem or that everything's perfect, well, then I mean, then I don't think I can help you. because after talking to people and after listening to people, it's obviously not like David Grubb said on AFR the other day. I can't imagine a cop coming into my house and putting a gun in my own house, pointing a gun at me. And that's what a lot of our fellow citizens have had to deal with. So this ain't going away. It's only going to continue. And now it's not just going to be Kaepernick and some of the more nameless, faceless players in the NFL. You are going to have the elite of the elite that are going to be confronting you with these uncomfortable truths every single day during this football season.